Hey there, YouTube. Today we are going to be talking about this pistol here. An old con block. It is an M57 Zastava 7.62x25. Now, let's start with the pistol itself. When it gets imported, there are many different models of these kind with various degrees, but one thing is the same. Is it needs some kind of safety on it due to importation laws, very stupid laws in my opinion, but it needs to have a safety. So we're going to talk about the different kind of where placement of the safety, so that when you're looking, if you see and you're kind of comparing the two, I'm going to let you know about this one, which has this little thumb safety right here, and we'll get into it. And we'll definitely get into it. So, you can find them. Some are on the slide. Some you will find in the one that I recommend is going to be the one with the little dingus in the trigger. And the reason is because you can swap that out, put this trigger in, and you have something more authentic, I guess I should say, to what was carried back in that heyday. There's plenty of history on this. We're just going to be talking about the specs, going over it, and what I think about it. So, starting with the specs, the length is 7.6 inches total. The weight with an empty mag, 30.1 ounces. Barrel, 4.6 inches. Height, 5.3 inches. And there's the specs for you. The trigger pull. On the forums, I do not have a trigger pull gauge. So on the forums and what I've seen other reviewers, 10 pounds, 8 pounds. I'm going to let you decide that. We're going to ghost the trigger first. Well, actually, let's just talk about the pistols. So the one I have holds 9-round magazine of 7.62x25. So to get a comparison, this is 9mm. This is the 7.62x25. It's almost a semi-bottleneck cartridge. It pretty much takes the 9mm, gives it a little bit of crystal meth, and it's a hot load. There's videos of people showing where it's gone through soft body armor. There's videos of showing that. I'd recommend looking at Mac from Military Arms channel and Paul Harrell if you really want to know the ballistics of the 7.62x25 round. So let's kind of get into it. The safety. This one here has a safety on the side. So this goes up, it goes down. You can find ones with the slide where it's directly on the slide. Those ones are pretty terrible looking, to be honest. They really suck. Then you got other ones where the safety is a little bit forward, right about the here position. They did a little slide cut to put the safety in, and it's kind of reminds me of a little bit of a Beretta decocker, but it's not really a decocker. Maybe some of the newer models have them. I don't know. I'm just looking at, this is just going over some of the classics. Another one, they have a little safety in the trigger well right about here. This is unloaded, so don't worry. And you can swap it out and have something a little more authentic. I think it's better, or if you want to leave the safety in, so be it. It's got just 3-dot sight. It doesn't have 3-dot sights. It's just a typical con block sights. I found them to be good. They work just fine. It has a hammer here. Hammer has to be down in order to rack the slide. So it also has an internal magazine safety. So let's just do that. Empty. So you can't pull the trigger unless you have the mag in. We'll ghost the trigger. All right, so you got a little bit of creep. It's a very defined creep. And then you hit a wall. There you go. Reset. Got a little more creep, and there you go. Like I said, they say it's an 8-pound, 10-pound trigger. Me personally, it's kind of deceptive just because it feels good. Okay, it doesn't feel as heavy as it is, if that's really what it is. When it comes to these kind of pistols, they're tough to really get a good trigger pull gauge. I would definitely look at Mac from Military Arms channel and look at his review on the Toke. So on the Zastava M57, this is a pretty much modeled after the Russian version. So you're going to find these cheaper, and the round is a fun round. So let's do that again. Hammer has to be down. There you go. Magazine. You got the magazine right here. It falls pretty decent. So magazines are steel. So this is the 9 round. This holds 9 rounds. So okay, let's talk about kind of my thoughts on it. I only put 75 rounds through it. No issues. I found it to be a very nice shooter. It was very fun. Sounds cool. A couple people shot it at the range and said, wow, this thing is neat. They were like, what is it? You know, you definitely get some range swag points. And people would shoot it. They liked the round. I was surprised, honestly. This thing managed the recoil of a very hot load very well. Phrasing. So with the con block, it's got the pistol. It's got plastic. Sorry about that. It's a pistol. Plastic side grips. I found them to be, I mean, honestly, if you're using this as a duty pistol, one, I'm gonna laugh, but it doesn't have much checkering, doesn't add much. If you're wearing gloves, and I'm gonna tell you why you probably should. So the safety here, the only real con about it is this little safety here sticks out past the frame a little bit, as you can see. Let's get that. This right. Let me get that. There we go. This right here will cut up your hand pretty good. Like right in here. When you're holding it, really getting into it, it's going to, that's the only gripe people had, is it kind of hurt a little bit. But so you can always file it down. I'm just going to leave it as is because, again, this is just a fun gun for me, but just to let you know. So let's get into kind of why I bought this. Again, I just wanted a con block type of a pistol, an older pistol for fun, so I decided I'm going to settle on the Zastava. Now, some pros about it is the pistols are cheap. I've seen them go anywhere from $180 to $280, kind of depends. You can find them easily under $300. And to be honest, I wouldn't pay more than $250 for one. Maybe a little extra dollars if it comes with a mag and like other stuff, but you can find these pretty cheap right now. And again, this is as of 2020. Prices on Milsurp go up, go down, they fluctuate, and they're a pain in the ass. I am not a Milsurp guy. I love history. History is my thing. That's what I watch instead of watching sports. But when it comes to older firearms, I'm more into the modern stuff. So I just wanted to pick up a pistol from that era, from that time, place on the Eastern European side of the theater, the old commie weapons. I just wanted a pistol of it. So I settled for this because it's fun. And on this specific pistol, there's plenty. I'd recommend if you're looking at con block, first look at how to inspect it. There are plenty of videos on what to look for when buying a used or looking at con block pistols in your local store. I recommend definitely thoroughly looking it over. Also with that, this pistol, I noticed that it was striking the primer right a little low. Let me try to focus. A little low. It was still, I didn't have one failure to feed, but it may be an issue over time. It usually would be. So over time, I would be looking at different ways to fix that. Like if you have a problem with your Tokarev, I'd be looking at getting a new primer. I'm going to be looking at first trying to tweak it to see if that will fix if it can strike the primer a little higher where it's supposed to. Okay, now that we talked about that, I'm a fan of this pistol. This is a fun little pistol to add to your collection. If you're looking at being a collector, you can find the pistols really cheap. But let's talk about the cons. The cons is going to be the number one con, honestly, is finding a spare mag. So if you pick up a pistol and it only has one magazine, good luck finding these. You're going to have to look at eBay. I always see these magazines out of stock, specifically the 9-round ones. Now, they also make an 8-round. You can find those in stock a little better, but not much. The 9-round ones, so if your pistol comes with a 9-round, like mine does, I like it little more capacity, and it's really not that big of a deal. But finding a mag for it has been a pain in the ass. So if you're going to be picking this up, I recommend paying the extra for the extra mag. I also, if you're ordering online, if they have them, I recommend if you're at a gun show or a local gun show or in a local store, and you're looking at this, see if they have an extra mag for it. If they do, pick it up, because you will not find another mag. The next thing is finding 7.62x25 ammo. Now, 7.62x25 ammo is tough to find. It's tough to find locally. At least in my state in Minnesota, I cannot find it anywhere. I've heard rumors of where I can find it, about an hour north and an hour south of me. I have not checked it, but at every local gun store in between, I cannot find 7.62x25 anywhere, so I have to order online. You're going to have to order online, and I recommend ordering online. Now, when you're ordering online, you're going to run into, and you want to buy bulk ammo. Let's say you're going for bulk ammo. You're going to find a lot of corrosive stuff, stuff from Romania, stuff from the Czech Republic. I'm totally going to bomb this name. The one that I'm shooting, and I really like the ammo, is, I'm going to bomb this name. Sellers and Beller from the Czech Republic. 85 grain. This thing, this ammo is really, really good. I've only seen one thing on the forums where somebody said it made their gun green. On the inside. I'm just not showing that. That was a really bad picture. I don't even know why I attempted to it with the lighting. But there you go. So the ammo-wise, you're going to have to order online. Now, you can find them in boxes of 50 for roughly about 20 to 25 bucks. I would recommend that if you're paying more than that for brass, I'm going to say you can find it cheaper. I ended up paying for 100 rounds just to see even if I liked the pistol, and I paid about 53 bucks. I got ripped off because I don't know. I was an idiot and I didn't shop around much. I just went to one place, ordered it, cool, called a day. So you can find them for a box. I've seen them mostly go rounds of 50 for $22. When it comes to the bulk stuff, I found it, you can find corrosive ammo a lot cheaper, steel a lot cheaper. Me, I'm only shooting brass because then I can bring it to a range. Bulk wise, I've seen it for $180, $219. You can find them anywhere from 500 to 800 rounds. If you're going to use this for anything more than a collector's, I recommend it. I recommend even if you are a collector and you're going to start collecting Tokarevs, pick that up to try it. So there we go. Aside from collecting, I think that this is, if you are interested in collecting some of the classics, I think for the price, the shootability, it is worth it. I think personally, if you're going to be buying this, try to find it with an extra mag, because you won't find it online other than going to eBay. And I am not using eBay, so I'm just going to be waiting and keeping an eye out to see if I can find another one. Or I might buy another Tokarev just to get another mag with it. What? Who knows? So, my thoughts on the pistol, I think it's a good shooter. I like the round. The round is hot. Definitely makes a fireball. Really cool. I had 3 people shoot it at the range. One of them was the range officer. He's like, do you mind if I take a shot? He's like, I only want to shoot 1 bullet. Took a shot and said, I like it, except this thing cuts up the hands. That was the common consensus. At least on this one, the safety definitely was a little sharp. You can file it down if you have this kind of a safety. Most of them, I recommend if you're buying this, get the one with the trigger safety, and then just swap out the trigger, and you have something a little bit more authentic to what they used to carry. You're not finding spare mags for it. It's going to be tough, but maybe you might get lucky. Maybe in your state, you have a lot more con block pistols at gun shows, and you can pick them up. I recommend picking them up. With however many mags you want, pick them up. So aside, I'm going to be doing a video another one on this pistol. I'm just going to give updates with it, kind of, since the firing pin on this one is kind of hitting the brass a little low. I'm not going to get it fixed. Instead, I'm just going to be seeing what I can do to manually fix it, just because this is the tactical parts review. So, looking into it, what else would I use this pistol for? Home defense. I'm gonna say this, okay? It's a cheap pistol, and I get it. People may not have a lot of money, so I'm gonna do a whole video on that. But I'm gonna give you some. I'm just gonna reference something Paul Harrell tested, which he tested some kind of hollow points out of this. It functioned, but it still overpenetrated in his tests. My opinion, Paul Harrell does a really good job with tests and ballistics. So look at that. I would definitely look into it. Look at ballistic gel tests for this. He does a meat test where he'll put different layers of meat and then a flannel and then a coat, and it overpenetrated. So I wouldn't say the hollow points are the best, but I'm going to leave it to you. So overall, this is a decent pistol, people. If you're looking at collecting, picking it up, I do have one gripe. When people say, I'm going to use this as a truck gun, don't leave pistols in your vehicles, okay? There's a ton of people will break in. If you're looking for a beater pistol, honestly, I would still go with something better. I would go with, if you're really going to use a cheaper pistol, in my opinion, use whatever you're carrying, and you're worried about a truck gun, just get another one of that. Okay, that way you have the consistency in training. Little fun pistol. I'm gonna go into kind of talk about other uses in another video, because it's something that, in my opinion, needs to be mentioned. So, anyway, this is the tactical parts review on the Zastava M57 7.62x25. You guys are awesome. Take it easy.